I want to start with Returnal real quick, mostly because I said last week that we would talk a bit about it since it was still kind of early. A lot of us just got our hands on it, and I wanted to quickly talk about this before we go into Resident Evil Village and get started with some of the topics.
What a mess of a game! I've beaten it. I just have to go through Biome 6, fight the last boss to get the secret ending, but this game has crashed on me numerous times.
That's right where I am too, actually. Yeah.
The game, like I jumped into the water to go into Biome 6, and the game just hard crashed. I was like, okay, well, I'm sending that to Sony. Thanks. Then I was fighting Biome 4 boss, has the pipe organ, have an audio glitch. I had no sound. I was like, okay, well, it's supposed to be like this epic musical boss battle I can't hear. And then I redo it.
You don't need sound?
Well, you'd want to hear the music.
No.
Playing the piano.
Just play your own music.
The piano.
Machu Picchu or something or whatever that is.
And then I reload it to fight it, and I get another audio glitch, which is I was like, this game is ridiculous. And it has a great gameplay loop. I enjoy the shooting. I enjoy the weapons. But this is a technical disaster. They need to patch this game several dozen times.
See, I didn't have that many glitches or issues with mine like that. The most obviously was when it was going to auto update, and I had auto update off, which is good because auto update apparently came through and just wrecked people's saves.
It did mine today. I got screwed on a really good run today.
Well, I mean, the save game glitch where it erased people's save games completely.
That completely corrupted your save file.
No, it didn't completely corrupt my save file.
No, but like if you had a run going and like you had an arrest mode and update it closes the game down to update it, and like it happened. That seemed to happen to a lot of people.
It happened,
that happened
to me yesterday. Yeah, I had max integrity, max weapon. I had the astronaut figure. I was rolling through the biomes, and I didn't play for a day, and then that update came and just killed it. And I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I love this game so much. It's so cool. It's like one of the most innovative games I've played in a long time, but I just don't want to go back and play it again because it just pisses me off that there is no autosave in this game.
I have a very different experience from y'all, which is that I've had one hard crash in like 27 hours. I've had one hard crash, which I know is now unique. Most people are having it crash much more. And I did have one loop glitch death where one time I was going up to one of the fabricators to like make an item, and I pressed skip cutscene because why the hell am I going to watch it 3D print me something? And for some reason, it teleported me to the ground, and I just fell infinitely, dying again and again, basically. That was the only two real glitches I've had. I have had no sound issues. I've had no real anything. So for me, it's been a more positive experience. I still think the game is an 8 out of 10. I definitely enjoyed beating it and stuff. But yeah, it definitely still feels a little bit like now that we're in that $70 price tag era, it's still, to me, even as much as I love it, it still feels not quite worth that 70.
Okay. Absolutely not. I definitely don't think it's worth the $70. Like I'm at the point, I'll get this last trophy, for the secret ending, and then the only things I would have left are the surveys. But I am not doing a game of luck.
Yeah.
Hopefully this, glyph shows up or this room so I can finish the entire, searching of these labyrinths. Like this is a game I think I'll pick up in 2 years when it's $15 on Black Friday and it's been patched 24 times and they've introduced, new balancing, maybe a save feature, and I'll gladly play through it again. But right now I think it took me 18 hours to beat. I died like 16 times. I was like, you know what? I've had my fun with this game. It was a solid rental for a week. I don't regret the time I've spent.
It is a good rental.
But this wasn't a $70 game. At the end of the day, I think that's asking way too much.
Someone in the chat just said its name should be Return It.
Here's the thing with this game, though, man. Like, honestly, I like PlayStation games and I'll play them, but this is the only game that's gotten me like literally like addicted to it. I know everybody here likes like God of War and like Death Stranding and certain other games that have came out, but this is the only game that I've played in this gen. Right, we're pretty early, and last gen that I've been legitimately thinking about and addicted to. Like I always have it on rest. Yeah, it has that pull. Mechanically, like MVG said, it's one of the most innovative. It's a 3D bullet hell shooter done extremely well. That you just don't see that. It feels like Super Stardust HD, but like you're playing 3D. Like it's crazy. There's nothing else on it, and that's why I said like there's crazy potential.
Just to check, have you played Risk of Rain 2?
I've played Risk of Rain, but I don't like rogue games.
I played 2.
But I played Risk of Rain. But this game has like the hook is so good with this game, man. I love it. It's like my favorite PlayStation game.
I think
this last gen and this gen.
I feel like the hook should be stronger in this game because it feels like death. It really is meaningless. It's, oh, you died, do it again. There should be some sort of give or take with the death. It should be, hey, you've died 5 times. We're gonna maybe get a bonus, or we're gonna punish you.
No, you're
have
right.
some repercussions from this. Otherwise, it's just you're dead.
I like that though. To me, that's part of the addictive nature for me, Nate, is the fact that you just instantly pop back and the day resets. To me, like I once had a 3.5-hour run, like a nearly max health. I had a really freaking good machine gun. My weapon skill was so high. I was so happy with it. And then I just had a bad dodge, fell off a cliff, basically died. And I literally screamed, literally went, freak! And then I picked up the controller and I went right back in. And I feel like that's very rare, is where you can die and instantly be like, well, I'm starting again.
So I almost think, like, looking at this game, it feels like a rogue game that did go into development like 3 years ago, before these roguelike games started really evolving with Hades and some others. So they probably took the ideas from back then, before some of the other games showed up, put it into a game, and maybe over time through updates they'll start to evolve it a bit more. I mean, it depends on, I guess, the runway this game has now after release.
Let me ask you a question though, John, and to everybody here. Do you guys think it was actually a rogue game when it first started development? I don't know if it was.
That's a good question.
Actually a rogue game? Do you think? I think it was something else, and then they decided to, hey, let's make this. We got to make this $70. How's a way to get people to get more hours out of it? Let's make it a.
I see what you're saying.
It's so wonky the way that this game is structured. It's a really wonky structure to where you wouldn't think that they were making a rogue game from the very beginning.
I kind of agree with you, and one of the areas that stands out to me that maybe some element of this game was changed in development is that there is no boss in Biome 5.
Yeah,
it really stands out that one.
Spoiler alert.
Well, there's a boss. There's just like 3 mini ones.
Yeah, it felt weird compared to the structure of the rest of the game, where you just kind of have this one biome where it's, you got the key, jump in the water. Like, okay.
I think the story was what that was super last minute. I think it was probably supposed to be like this from the start, and then about like 2 years into development, they're like, oh, we should have a plot and character, because the fact that the story is optional. Yeah, the house is optional. That's baffling to me.
It does straight up connected when you go into that house.
Yeah, I didn't even go in there till like literally hours and hours and hours into it.
I did. I wanted PT vibes, man.
I didn't know. Somebody told me, I was pretty deep into playing it, and I talked to another reviewer, and he told me, oh, if you go there, you unlock the extra lives. And I went, what? So I went back. So literally, I just walked past that house like 50 times.
You get the cool dash. Yeah, you get the cool dash from there and all this. So, but yeah, it does feel disconnected, because when you go into that house, it feels like a different game for the entirety of being in there. And it feels like they put that together and they were like, ooh, how do we attach this game to this game? And they're like, you know what, just put a house in there, and they walk through and they go into this other game, basically. So.
I really like it though. Gameplay wise, man, this game
is great.
Gameplay is so probably good. Some of Housemarque's best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Minor things that's really keeping it from, I would say, achieving greatness. It's just it's technical issues. It's the no save progress. It's
that's the worst.
Bugs. Even some of the visual performance, like the pop-in, can be jarring, especially when it's the Biome 4, the Echo Garden. You can just see the greenery popping up in front of you like you're playing a Switch game.
I wonder if this game is just going to get, like, from now, like, let's say 2 years from now, this game really will be like top tier. Like, we look back on it after all these updates and we're like, this game is incredible now. After
it's gonna be one of those beloved Sony games. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that we talk about in like.
So that means it's not getting a sequel then.
Yeah, so I was gonna say the Days Gone joke.
Do you guys just think this game is too? I think this game is too hard for most people. Like for the most people, I think this game is way.
This actually isn't this the game that brought up the conversation around if you should beat the game to review it? This is where it came up around, right?
Was this game week? I don't know if it was directly related, but yeah, it's definitely the week that started that conversation.
I feel like it was from this. This game is obviously harder than average games. Yes,
I think most people that play this are going to be like, dude, screw this. I don't want, especially once you get to they're just gonna say if they don't know about like you said, Dreamcast guy, you didn't know about the house at first
because it doesn't even telegraph it.
Yeah, you got to go back. I mean, to me, this game is way too hard for most people.
I think when you get to that third biome, that's where things really kick up, and you're like, whoa, okay, this is a bit more difficult than most people.
Even those guys that teleport, like a lot of people will just be like, they're gonna get jacked up by those guys, and I just think that this is just too hard for most people if there's no because a lot of people like to play games on easy, like believe it or not, like or normal, and like this doesn't have an easy or normal.
No.
It's just hard from the beginning.
And you can't rush. That's the biggest deterrent to casual gamers, I think, is that you really can't run through rooms. Even if the other door is unlocked, you should always kill everything in every single room. And I feel like people don't think that way anymore. Like the way we grew up with games where you just murdered everybody to even move to the next screen. But I feel
I love it. I love the difficulty. This like invigorates me to play the game.
Yeah,
for sure. Me though, a hardcore game.
I like it, but it definitely, man, did it beat me up. I'm not going to pretend it was a smooth ride. It beat me up.
It's rough. It's a rough game. But you like that, though. Like, it makes you feel like back in, like, the NES days. It's like, remember when you'd play, like, back in the NES and the Super Nintendo, like, you'd be getting your ass kicked, and you're like, no, I gotta beat this,
I think it's one of the areas that
you could still leave the console on, 2 days later, come back, and the game would still be there.
Yep.
I think that's one of the areas they can refine with the game.
That's part of the game.
Is that as you're playing it, like so much of it is just dumb luck of the run. Is you might get a bunch of proficiency gems, or you might get a bunch of health gems, and that makes a world of difference. And then there's other times everything is malignant, and it's like I'm skilled at the game. I can beat this level, but you're giving me awful loadouts of items, so it's just. Well, I may as well, go fuck myself because the game.
Yeah, a couple runs, I figured the game just hated me. Like,
it's like everything's malignant, dude. You're like, dude, screw it, I'm taking a chance.
I have a malfunction. I have to take a chance again because there's nothing here that's not malignant. Damage again, major malfunction. Can't get any health items. Pick up an item, suffer damage. Like, what can I do? Your gun, you die. Like, well, this was fun.
The worst one, Dreamcast guy. The worst one is when they do like the counter, like when you get the like where it like hits you and like the counter when you hit them. I hate that. That's like I swear the worst one.
I think the two that annoyed me the most is something about your mini map is glitched. That annoyed me because I would stare at my mini map so much to find health items and stuff. So it just being lightly scrambled would annoy the hell out of me. And I did personally because I used the sword almost exclusively. I hated the one where people became acid when you killed them because I would laser beam people and then get acided.
Actually, Max, that's a good question for you before we move into Resident Evil Village. Is what do you think of that? Since you're someone who will at times sit down and try to go through a game as quick as possible to beat it for review. You think reviewers need to beat their games before they review them?
I think they do. The big thing to it is that, in my opinion, the whole you have to have the context. My thing is typically I try and roll credits. I try and achieve the ending, and then I try and do 20% of the side quests. That's my personal rule because I feel like even beating the game sometimes isn't the full experience. I will say that I don't think you necessarily have to unlock all the secret endings because some of them take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. But the idea that you could just like previews, play 3 hours, tell people your thoughts. That's why sometimes I do the Does It Suck videos. People have asked why I do the Does It Suck. It's because sometimes I just play 5 hours of a game and I want to talk about it. Sometimes I can't make a review out of it.
Well, how would somebody, if that's the case across the board, I'm curious how someone would review an MMORPG.
Well, so
good luck with that.
Well, there was this guy who actually did a 5-part series about World of Warcraft Classic where he spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours trying to review the game before he said that like MMOs are kind of unreviewable.
Yeah, okay, because that's I was thinking about that. Or even I guess you could technically say sports games because there's no ending to a sports game, but like you could play that enough after like 10 hours and probably be like, all right, this is what I think of the new Madden game. It's just like the last one. Yeah, well, basically.
Somebody in my comment section once said that Call of Duty or Fortnite can't be reviewed. And they say the point they made in my comment section was that because it's about the next update, part of it is the hype cycle for new map, new character, new skin, new gun. A game like that, it doesn't matter what you put on paper now because it's instantly outdated like the game is. And I kind of agree with that.
It's a good point.
I think for me with Returnal is I haven't had any of the glitches or problems and stuff like that personally, but I also haven't put a significant amount of time into it yet. I got quickly distracted with both Pokemon Snap and then for some reason I got hyped for Ratchet and Clank and I decided to play the PS4 Ratchet and Clank. So that's what I've been playing instead. And it's not that I don't like Returnal. It's that I'm hearing all these horror stories throughout the entire week of everyone's problems, and I'm like, you know what? I want to play it more, but I can wait. I can wait a little longer until there's some things patched on, and I have plenty to play. Games are like what's is it next week? Mass Effect.
Yep. Then we got
next week.
Next week, next Friday.
Take all my attention. There's 3 games right there. They're gonna take all my attention.
We got Mass Effect coming up. We got Biomutant coming up.
I thought it was the end of the month. Yo, let's go.
It's Friday.
I'm
flying, dude.
Yep. A lot of stuff's coming up.
Freaking go.
So I have a question. Do you see this game going on sale anytime? With that
I thought you were gonna ask which Mass Effect to start with.
I hope it does.
Click
3.
No.
Don't start with 3.
Click. You gotta play.
I'm gonna play Mass Effect. Can we answer the actual question?
I hope so. Like my personal hope is that this game hits $40 in the next couple months because I think it'll be a lot more successful.
Wait, you think Returnal? You think dropping price from Returnal is gonna happen?
I hope so. I think it's on nothing, but I hope.
I kind of think it's gonna stay $70 for like the next 2 years.
I agree.
It's gonna be 2 years.
And then they'll announce a PC version. Like,
okay, so if Demon Souls is still 70, why would Returnal be?
Okay.
I think a lot that's going to come down to Returnal is going to be something similar to what we saw with the Order 1886. Is if you're seeing a lot of returns because people have played the game, they've gotten frustrated, they said fuck it, and they've traded it in. You're going to have that huge surplus of just used copies, and new copies aren't going to be selling.
Here's the thing though, they didn't ship a lot of physical copies.
They didn't.
In this game. I have retail contacts, and they said they got potential. Like the Best Buy got 15 copies.
I couldn't get a copy of Returnal at Best Buy physically. I actually pre-ordered it and they canceled my pre-order, so I had to buy it digitally.
I got it on Amazon. It's easy.
They didn't have it at Best Buy.
That's Amazon, but a lot of the retailers in certain places are just not getting copies. Walmart had 3. A freaking Walmart had 3 copies on launch.
Yeah, so I kind of think they're going to keep this game at 70 for a while.
Could you see on a PC though? A game like that, I feel like
that's what I would like. That's one that would.
I can see it on the PC.
I can see it on PC.
That's the one thing that I think kept me most from wanting to just go past all the hiccups that people are talking about and try it. The main thing was I just want mouse and keys for it. So I mean, I think it'd be great if it came to PC because I'm not the only one that feels like that. A lot of my friends feel the same. Just playing shooters with sticks nowadays.
I think that's one they'll push to PC. I think so.
I think the game actually supports keyboard controls if you don't patch it.
Yeah, that's the thing that was just leaked. Yeah, the unpatched version.
Those cheats you could press like Control Alt and
1, 7, and 9. Yeah,
you could like shoot your guns or
weapons and stuff.
The thing, Click, is that the game is like crazy auto aim. So to be honest, I don't know how much a PC is that's going to get you so much better because of like the reticules and how it works. You pretty much just hit people on target most of the time, and then like you can zoom in for critical hits with certain weapons.
Oh, so like it's heavy aim assist is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like you can turn it all the way up to high to where it literally just like auto tracks. But so many weapons just have like auto tracking, auto like seeking, all sorts.
Okay, so
you don't really need super precise aim in this one.